Great morning, great morning, great morning. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Time for the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald. Each and every Tuesday morning, I have this opportunity, this platform to share some amazing information designed to motivate you and help you to be the very best person you can possibly be. The show is designed to get into your ears, into your heart, and hopefully into your legs, causing you to move into that greatness that you were so greatly created for. And because it's Tuesday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I know there are people in the morning, you're in the gym, you're in the office, you're sitting having breakfast, and you're listening to the show. Thank you so much. Those of you listening, you know this is my story. 3 amazing careers and possibly 4 careers now. As a law enforcement officer, professional school counselor, and our college professor, sharing information with you. And I was told by my third grade teacher that I was not college material. Oh boy, that's another story. But understanding that I have this platform designed to share this information with you to help you to be the best. And because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I always start with the morning quote of the day on the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Your quote today is from someone anonymous. I don't know who wrote this, but it's so important to what we're going to be talking about today and very important to everybody who's listening to me right now. It says, it is important to make someone happy, and it is important to start with yourself. It is important to make someone happy, and it's important to start with yourself. You see, you cannot make someone else happy, no matter what you do. You can't make them happy. They are in charge of their own happiness. You can do some things to facilitate, be kind to individuals, but they must choose happiness, just as you must choose happiness. You are entitled. No one make your spouse, your best friend, your children. Oh, my children will make me happy. When I get $1 million, I'll be happy. Your happiness needs to start every single morning when you wake up. Put your feet on the floor, brush your teeth, get in the shower, roof over your head. You have toothpaste to brush your teeth. You have teeth to brush. You have hot water in your home. Whatever it is that you have, be thankful for those little things, and you are in charge of your happiness. Do not allow someone else to have the remote control to your happiness. It starts with you every single day, what you put forth in your mind. That is your morning quote of the day. It is important to make someone happy, and it is important to start with yourself. Your morning quote for today is brought to you by MauriceMcDonald.net. Go to MauriceMcDonald.net and learn all about your amazing gut microbiome. All disease begins in the gut. Go there. MauriceMcDonald.net. MauriceMcDonald. Log on. Reach out to me there as well. You can reach me. My email, everything you need to know about me is going to be right there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, since it's Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want to continue from last week's show. I told you it was going to be a part 2 to this. Those of you, you've heard me say this several times. I've been part of a prison ministry into a minimum security prison. Everyone has 5 years or less to be a free person, a free man. And I initially ran from that from 12 years. I didn't want to do that, but I surrendered and I decided, let me go do that. And it's been very amazing for me. So with that same topic, I started last week talking about this show about escaping from the prison of your mind that holds you back. Escaping from that prison of your mind that's holding you back. See, oftentimes there are individuals who are free. They've never been inside the walls of a prison. However, they are imprisoned themselves between their ears. What's going on in their mind, what they tell themselves. So last week, I started talking about, number one, recognizing the mental prison. Realizing that you are in a mental prison. We talked about discussing how fear, doubt, guilt, shame, past failures, negative self-talk, how it becomes an invisible wall that keeps people stuck. Even when the opportunity is in front of them to get out, to change their thinking. They have opportunity every single day. Somebody gives them an opportunity to step out of that. The second point I talked about was the bars are often built from beliefs. Explore those thoughts. I'm not enough. I'm too old. I'm always fail. I'm the black sheep of the family. People will never in my family succeed. Those thoughts become the bars. And let me tell you, those bars are not just steel, it's tungsten steel. Because it is hard to free yourself when that is your premise of your life, when that's holding you back. I also talked about a book last week called The Battlefield of the Minds, a practical and faith-based book about overcoming negative thinking and winning the struggle in the mind. That part right there is so powerful. My third point last week was talking about who gave you the keys anyway? Who gave you the keys to get out of your prison anyway? Some of you, your faith, your creator. Think about it. Talk about how many people hand over their confidence to criticism, rejection, trauma, unhealthy relationships, and opinions of other people. They give all of that. I told you before, my third grade teacher told me this was the first time someone in my life, someone I respected, someone I liked, because most children like their third grade teachers. But my third grade teacher, this was during a time of segregation and civil rights movement, said that I was an integration of schools. This was the first white teacher I've ever had, and she said I was not college material. And so that part, but fortunately, and my grandmother's words was a kryptonite to Miss Chadwick's words. Yeah, I put her name out there. You know, she's no longer with us, but at the end of the day, this is what she said to me. And then, of course, upon her death, the obituary in the newspaper read that she had a love for children. Well, she had a love for certain children. Chocolate and brown children, well, that's another story. And I know that was her thinking back then. But nonetheless, it was said to me. And see, my grandmother said that wasn't going to happen. Those words were not going to stand. She said, you just as good as they is. That's exactly how she said it. And you're talking about a woman with a 5th grade education, but a PhD in spirituality and common sense. That was grandma. And fortunately, her words reigned supreme. The next point we talked about, we said, who gave you the keys anyway? Failure. Fear of failure versus the fear of success. Yes, we talked about that last week. How many people think, they are afraid to fail? They start something with the idea, I'm going to fail. But sometimes they are really afraid of succeeding and having to step into a new level of responsibility, attention, or change. I gotta change that. And sometimes that is a major problem. As closer the people get to success, I've had students to step back and take a leave of absence from college. Because now, if I step into this new area, I'm now responsible to make some changes, and they're not ready yet. So they still got the fear of failure versus the fear of success in them. And that is important. And also, we stopped at this point last week. We talked about stop replaying old sentences in your mind. Old sentences, or you're streaming the wrong music. You're hearing it every day. Discuss how comments from parents, teachers, friends, past relationships may still be shaping how you think. And this is why I could not allow negativity from what anyone says about me, because I didn't want to replay that anymore. I got a new tune to play. And I talked about last week that even in the Bible, there are many stories of people having to come out and focus on a renewing of their mind, truth and courage and freedom and changing it. That is important. We talked about last week the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. Focus on replacing defeat and worry and fear. Use confidence and then hope. And that is so powerful. So today I kind of want to pick up where I left off and dive in this some more, hoping this will be something that will enlighten you and help you to think a new way. And that part is, number one, the comfort zone can become a jail cell. You see, it is important to know that comfort can be a major problem. Coming out of your comfort zone. You see, there's a reason they call that chair the lazy boy. You get comfortable. Comfort keeps you in the jail cell. And this is staying, think about it. That staying where things are familiar and safe. They feel so safe. But growth usually begins when you step outside of your routine and the habits no longer serve you. You see, that comfort zone is your broke zone, not necessarily with money, but it keeps you from elevating yourself because it's comfortable. No, come out of the comfort zone. Explore new territories. Step out on faith. Tell yourself what you're going to say. I got this. I'm no longer getting in my comfort zone. Because my comfort zone is where, if it's terms of your diet, all the calories, or no exercise, and all the sugary drinks, and all those things are products of being comfortable. I gotta overeat because I'm comfortable. I gotta snack. I gotta buy all the snack because I want to comfort. My favorite chair. See, many of you have your favorite chair, and it's comfortable to you. And that's okay to have that. But it's important also for you to step out of that zone. Because when you step out of that comfort zone, it can be fearful. It's going to be uncomfortable. You see, I think about this. When you think about the eagle who has a baby chick, the eaglet, you see, they put padding in the nest. It's a lot of thorns in there. When they build that nest, it's a lot of padding, because when the little eaglet is young, it needs the padding. It's comfortable. You see, the mother eagle and the father eagle, guess what they do? They go bring food to the eaglet. Yes, you all know where I'm going with this. They sit high, keen eyesight. They can fly over the lake or the river and look down and see the fish, and they'll swoop down with their talons and scoop it up. Or they'll bring food to the eaglet because it's comfortable. Because the eaglet cannot fly at that moment. Because it's comfortable, the padding is in there. But oh my dear, as the eaglet starts to get larger, there's not enough room in the nest. So what do the mother eagle do? They start removing padding from the nest. Take the padding out. It is no longer comfortable. Ooh, where the eagle used to sit in comfort, now when you sit there are thorns sticking him, poking him, or poking her. And they realize, wait a minute, what's going on, mama? This comfort zone, I'm no longer here. And now they want to get him out of the nest. They don't know they can fly. And many of you can fly, but because you've been so comfortable, you refuse to fly. You stay in that comfort zone. You sit there because it's comfortable. I don't want to get out of this because it's comfortable here. Everybody else is sitting here. Nobody else in my family is stepping out. So why should I step out? So my point to you is that comfort zone can become your jail cell, because those routines, the habits, the habit of speaking negatively of yourself, that doesn't serve you anymore, because there's a language that the inmate, you become the inmate in the language of, I can't make it. This is comfortable. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Next year, I'm going to do this. Next week, I'll start. Instead of starting right now, instead of getting a plan to come out of the comfort zone, you hang around people in the same comfort zone. And then you get the same comfort zone language. Man, I'm so poor, man. I'm so poor, I can't afford the OR. I'm poor. Or if it ain't one thing, it's another. That language of, well, I'll try. I'll try to make this. I'll try to do it. No, you try doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. If anyone tells you I try, if you say I'm going to try, you are lying to yourself. I've never had anybody to tell me I'll try and they follow through with it, because they do not. So in that comfort zone, you got to change the language. Come out of the comfort zone first and foremost, and you must change the language of that comfort zone, because that keeps you in the prison of your mind. The comfort zone. That part is so, the routines and the negative habits. Oh yes, you eat the same foods in the comfort zone. You just got this routine of staying there in the pain. I want to encourage you to step out of that comfort zone. Do something totally different. Hang with different people, because in the same comfort zone, you'll never find forward-thinking people in the comfort zone. No, forward-thinking people will not be in your circle, because in the comfort zone, there's brokenness. Yeah, you hang around 5 broke people, you know who number 6 is. You. And you hang around 5 negative people in that comfort zone, in that broke zone. That's where they are. And they don't excel in that. And one of the books I've been sharing some books for you also. There's some books to help you get out of that comfort zone. It's called Awaken the Giant Within. Awaken the Giant Within. It discusses how to take control of your emotions, your beliefs, and your life direction. Yes, awaken the giant within. Because inside of us, I'm a firm believer, there is a giant inside of us. There is a giant waiting to go show its greatness. But it's hiding in that same zone, ladies and gentlemen. It is always right there in that comfort zone. And therefore, you must tell yourself, I'm coming out of that comfort zone, because it becomes a jail cell that holds you there. Now, the next key point that keeps you in that jail cell is your past is a chapter, not the whole book. Let me drop the mic. Let me drop the mic and walk off the stage. This show could be over right now, ladies and gentlemen, because how many times you view your past as a whole complete book when it was merely a chapter. Sometimes it was just a page. It was 1 page of the chapter. But you view it as the whole book. I knew I couldn't make it. My brother didn't make it. My mama didn't make it. Nobody in my neighborhood made it. I failed one time. I just keep making these mistakes. And all you view is you keep reading that bad chapter, that bad page. But it was not the whole book, because the whole book has not been written, because you're still alive. Today, we can't do anything about yesterday, cannot do anything about tomorrow, but I can plant my flag in the ground today. I can stand 10 toes down on this promise that I have the ability to change my mindset about this chapter I got called life, this book I got called life. Because chapter by chapter, things are subject to change day by day. And I want to encourage all of you, all the listeners, not to define yourself by your mistakes, not by your disappointments, not by your painful experiences, not by your trauma. A different past does not have to be determined in the future. A past difficult or something difficult that you had in the past does not have to determine the future. Whatever you did, the setback, you were incarcerated. I'm going to be doing shows about men who are incarcerated. That's a new passion for me now. And realizing that there's so many people that are spending lives, young people. There are so many people who have made mistakes. And that is not your future. That one chapter, that one mistake. Some women, come on, let's face it. You got pregnant as a teenager. Okay. You became a mother early. Okay. And you can make it. I have students, 35 years old or 40 years old, have children, they have 1 or 2 children, and they are single moms. They got pregnant when they were young, or students who are 25 years old, they got 6-year-old, and they're in college. And they come in struggling, and I give them this message. I give it to them straight, no chaser. When they start talking about that past chapter, when they start talking about, I used to be a dancer. I was at the club on Friday and I needed money. I got kicked out of my house. I got kicked out of my church, and a guy wasn't for me. I couldn't make it anymore. And they began to read that chapter. And I always tell them, well, it's time to write a new chapter. Look where you are now. I need for you to take a look at graduation day. I need for you to look 2 or 3 years ahead when you're going across the stage with the cap and gown on. I need you to write a new chapter. That chapter, number 1, you have a child. Hello. And you don't know what that child is going to be. You cannot. I believe so many people have negative chapters. And let's talk about my teen moms, or my moms who had children out of wedlock. And society comes at you. The church comes at you. Everybody comes at you. I need for you to write a new chapter. I don't know who my child is going to become. My child has potential, and I will never tell my child they were a mistake. You see, oftentimes children have low self-esteem is because the chapter that you had in your life, you were a teen father, you had to drop out of college to go to work to take care of the child. And now here's the beautiful part about it. Colleges never close. You can always write a new chapter and come back in and come out stronger. So your past chapter is not a whole book, and you cannot claim that to be a whole book. That is so important for you to understand that. The next point I want to talk about when we start talking about this whole idea of the prison of the mind. Change the conversation in your head. That goes back, like I said before, what you tell yourself, the conversation you have in your head. Talk about replacing the negative self-talk with healthier, more truthful statements. Instead of I can't begin, you start saying things like I'm learning, I'm growing. I got this. I can do all things. Yes, because now I used to be bad in math, or I used to struggle with negative thoughts, but because I'm going to start doing A, B, C, and D, because I got a new plan, I'm going to succeed. It may not look like it now, but you're looking at a winner. I'm going to call myself a winner. I'm going to call myself productive. I am productive. I will make this. I will be successful. I will be graduating in 4 years. If it takes you 5, but that's okay. I will be graduating. I'm going to make this. I don't care. I used to get high all the time because I have a sponsor now, because I'm taking responsibility into my substance abuse. I'm going to get clean. I'm no longer going to do what I got to do. I'm going to do those things. Your language changes because, see, your subconscious hears the words that come out of your mouth. And whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on your negativity and you focus on those words that came out of your mouth, the conversation you have, be careful talking to those negative people. Negative Ned and negative Nancy. I don't know. I don't know how. If I was you, do not talk to them. Change the conversation you have. Do not let people know your goals. Do not let them know what your plans are. I need for you to be laser focused. I need for you to go ahead on and tell yourself, I got this. I got this. I can do this. This is amazing. And when you go down that road, guess what you do? When you go down that road, you are now able to change things simply because the words you said. I've said this before, a little book, excellent book to read. It's called Hung by the Tongue. It's a little paperback book, thin paperback book, maybe 30 pages of that. And the key thing is hung by the tongue. Whatever comes out of your mouth, you must change the conversation, because when you hear, change the conversation in your head, and that way you can learn to respond. Every time there's a setback, you just say, I got this. Nope, this is only temporary. I got this. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. What if I told you that some of the most powerful influences in your life live in your gut? That's right. Trillions of tiny microbes make up your gut microbiome, and they're busy chatting with your brain, your immune system, even your mood. These conversations are called gut axes. Think of it as your body's group chat. When the gut speaks, everything listens. So if you're unhappy, check your gut. Your energy, your focus, your digestive might feel better. The good news, small changes like eating more fiber, supporting good bacteria, and managing stress can make a big difference in your health. Tiny microbes, huge impact. Start in the gut. Change one thing and change everything. Go to MauriceMcDonald.net. That's MauriceMcDonald to learn more about the gut health and get the healthy edge, or call 877-634-8194 to get free samples. That's 877-634-8194. Do it today. We're back. We're back here, guys, on the It's About You radio show, WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald. If you're just joining us this morning, you missed the first segment. As always, you can go to my YouTube channel, It's About You radio show on YouTube. Any of the past shows, they're there, and you can listen to them over and over again. Share them with your friends. Share and like. Make sure you share and like when you go to my YouTube channel. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, Maurice McDonald 51. You can see me right there. And you can also go to MauriceMcDonald.net, and you can learn all about your amazing gut microbiome, and also ways to communicate with me, send me emails, and ways to reach out to me. But today's show, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing part 2 of talking about escaping from the prison of your mind that holds you back, the prison in your mind. And we just previously, this is part 2 of it, and I just finished talking about the idea of stop relying on old mindsets, old thinking, and I talked about your comfort zone becoming a jail cell for you, being comfortable, stuck right there. And then we also mentioned about your past chapter. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. So whatever you had in the past, where you had some disappointments, some setbacks, they were temporary. So then we talked about change the conversation in your head. All the negative self-talk that you have, get that out of your head. Stop saying, I can't do it. You can't, I can do it. It may be difficult, but I can do it. Do you see there's a difference? I didn't say it will be easy. It may be difficult, but I can do it. You see, changing that mindset. If you hang around positive people, I said, they'll tell you, people who will encourage you. That'll help you get that out of your head. Also, what'll help you get that out of your head, if you're in your car, stop listening to music. You see, the people in your car you're listening to, the music that you're listening to all the time, they're millionaires already. Turn your car into a mobile library. Listen to positiveness. Les Brown, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, Warren Buffett, all the other people and different folks of faith and ministry that's going to encourage you. The words they're going to be saying to you, listening to them on YouTube. There's nothing like YouTube University. Oh my gosh. Listening to the positive people. When you start to hear this and it gets into your mind, you go, oh, wait a minute. I got to change the way I think. Yeah, because when I change the way I think, I can walk in a new atmosphere. I can talk a new language. I become the winner, not the whiner. And that is important. So I talked about changing that conversation in your head. The next point I want to talk about, small steps can break big chains. Small steps can break big chains. You see, there's sometimes a chain that we have. When people are chained together, you have a dog that's chained to a post, a dog who's chained up, or someone is a law enforcement officer, we would put handcuffs. They would have handcuffs on the chains around their ankles and around their waist, and then it's attached to their wrist. That's designed to keep them from running when they come in the courtroom. If someone tries to break away and run, they're not going to go far because they can't take strides. They can only do the little bunny hop, the shuffle. They can't run because when they try to take big steps to run, they're going to fall down. And oftentimes, the chains that a person might have around them, you got to understand that small steps can break big chains. Escaping the prison of the mind does not happen overnight. You see, we have this instant gratification. We live in a society where we want things quickly. I want $1 million overnight. I want to hit the lottery. The lottery is the worst thing that any state can do. It teaches people to live their life on luck. Wealthy people and rich people do not have luck. They have a strategy. But they teach people that you can be a millionaire overnight by making an investment of $1. And that is a mistake. And so oftentimes in the lives of individuals, they think I can make a big change right overnight. No, one small act of courage, one new habit, or one better decision at a time can create freedom. One small step at a time, one little thing. I think about people who are in recovery. There was a gentleman that was in recovery in my class, and he began to talk about when people talk about how he used to drink alcohol every single day. And he hasn't had a drink of alcohol in 7 years. So when people say to him, oh, you got 7 years of clean time, are you ready? Are you ready for what he said? No. I don't have 7 years of clean time. I got 1 day at a time for 7 years. Because he knows that one day, one mistake, he can go back to where he used to be. So when people say, I got 7 years of clean time, he says, no. I got 1 day of clean time. 1 day at a time. One small step I made. One new perspective I made. And I did it for 7 years. So what I'm telling you is that when you think about it, small steps can break big chains. Escaping the prison of your mind does not happen overnight. Stop looking for quick, instant changes. One small act of courage, one step out, one new habit, one new decision can create freedom. I want you to think about all the things. The same thing, whether it's a diet or you change. You're not on a diet. It's a way of life. You're changing your eating habits. Diets don't work because people want to cheat and go, let me just get these shots real quick. I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 1 week. No, not practical. A little bit at a time. Let me walk. Let me park my car further away. Let me get my steps in. Let me walk every day. Let me drink more water. One little step to me losing weight was cutting out the soft drinks. My trainer says don't drink your calories. Little small steps, ladies and gentlemen. Over time, that is so key. Small steps can break chains because, see, that chain has been there for a while. See, that chain is connected to previous points I talked about. See, that change is coming from your past chapter. See, you just went from, I just talked about that key point about the conversation in your head. I just talked about that past chapter is not the whole book. You see, that new chapter you started creating was a small step. You forgetting the old chapter. Yeah. You stop confessing negative things about you. That's one step at a time. How you catch yourself. If you want to really make some changes, you got to make it so that you're being held accountable. You got to feel it. For example, every time you said something or you say something, I want to challenge each of you. Every time you make a negative confession over yourself, anytime you make a bad statement, anytime you start going back to that old chapter, take $5 or $10 and put it in a jar and give it away to somebody. Ooh, somebody you don't know. Give away money. Give away something valuable. Every time you make a negative comment about yourself, I'm just stupid. I don't know why I'm wasting my time going to school. You start making some bad confessions over yourself. You start thinking about, see, that small step of taking a $5 bill and you give it away to somebody. Donate it to a ministry. Give it to a nonprofit. Walk down to the homeless shelter and give them $20, $30. I want to give this away. And you keep doing that. Eventually, you will realize something. Wait a minute. Whoa. You catch yourself. That's like the men in the domestic violence groups that I ran for many years. The men would come into the group and they were always, and I say, let me go and put this out there. I know someone's going to say this. Yes, we have women who are assault partners too. But most of the ones I dealt with were 95% of the victims are female. And usually the perpetrators are men. So let me make sure I clarify that. But I'm going to talk about the men's group. They come in talking about she. If she had only done this and she had only done that, it's her fault that she got punched. It's her, she. And they started calling her about my old lady, my shorty, my baby mama, all the different titles. So every time they'd come in and they refer to their partners, not by name, we would correct them. And then pretty soon the other guys in group, when a man comes in and says, well, my baby mama, and they say, what's her name? What's her name? That every time she says it, different people say, what's her name? What's her name? And over a period of time, giving them about 5 to 6 weeks, sometimes 7 weeks out of the 52 weeks they're there, you'll hear them catch themselves. They'll say things like, my baby mom, Kathy. They catch themselves. See, it starts with small steps to break that chain. And why do we want them to break that chain? Because number one, if you calling her by title, you don't value her. See, she had a name and was a person long before she met you. And it's about getting them to change their thought process. Well, the same thing here. When it comes to you changing your thought process, it starts with small steps. Can break a big chain. And that changes your mindset. That gives you a whole new perspective. And now you're able to move forward and do things from a different mindset. And you start to grow. So again, that is something when you think about small steps to creating greatness. And that is so important. And also that book I mentioned last time too, The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements, that book, it offers simple, powerful principles for breaking unhealthy patterns and self-limiting beliefs. The 4 Agreements. One of the first agreements talks about Speak well of yourself. Don't use negative words about yourself. Powerful book. And there's a fifth agreement too, but I want you to start with the 4 agreements. You can go online and look at this book. There's on Amazon, other places too. But it starts with the words. Words hurt, ladies and gentlemen. And words and how what you confess over yourself. Which helps change that conversation that we talked about earlier. And it's small steps. You can't, for example, you can't become a great cook overnight. You start small and consistency. That is key. Consistency. Small steps can break big change. And what change are we talking about? Changes of mindset, change of growth to help you get out of that prison. If you just joined us here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, it's About You radio show, and we're talking about escaping the prisons from your mind, things that are holding you back. We talked about recognizing the mental prison. The bars are often built from your belief system. Who gave you the keys away anyway? Also, fear of failure versus fear of success. We talked about stop replaying old sentences in your mind. What you've been telling yourself. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. It becomes a jail cell for you because I'm comfortable. And we just talked about a moment ago, your past chapter is not the whole book. And this idea of now realizing, changing that conversation in your head. Changing that conversation in your head, because that's where it begins, ladies and gentlemen. And then also, small steps can break big change. Small steps can break big change. And that is so powerful for you to understand that how you can reach this through those small steps. And I'm so glad that, number one, you got to realize that it's baby steps. It's about children. It's about children who walk. Children who walk. They don't start running. What do they do first? They start to take the small steps first. That's what they do. And it is important to know that we have to understand that small steps are part of the process. Small steps are part of that process. And that process is very real. And we have to understand that and walk in that process, those beginnings. And also that book, The 4 Agreements, that I was sharing with you about. Not only did it say for you to speak positive yourself, it also don't take things for granted. And don't assume that everybody is talking bad about you. Don't assume that if something happens that somebody did it intentionally. You see, that alone can be something. How many people, as an African American man, I cannot say that there are people who don't look like me from other races are out to get me because I'm black. Now does racism exist? Absolutely. Does sexism exist? Absolutely. But I can't assume everything was about me, that it was intentional. Speak kind of myself and don't think everything, stop taking it personal, so to speak, because that's part of that piece that'll keep you in prison. I just know I'm black, they're holding against me. I'm a female, I'm holding against me. I'm a Christian, somebody's against me, or whatever whom you are. Don't assume all actions are designed to go after you. Because if you think everything's about you or coming after you, you see everything is intentional when sometimes it's not. Driving the car, somebody cut off in front of you. They know I'm late for work. They're just trying to make me late. Come on. It's not that serious, ladies and gentlemen. So one of the things you got to do is make sure that you understand that all things aren't out to get you. So it is part of that small steps to break the chain. That is so, so important. And also, the next point I want to talk about, when I said this, surround yourself with people who unlock you. Think about it. Surrounding yourself with people who can unlock you. You've locked yourself up when somebody gives you some words of encouragement. The importance of having encouraging people around you. Friends, mentors, family members, counselors, faith community who see your value. Because oftentimes you can't see your value, but they see it. You must surround yourself, new faces, new places. That's what they tell people who have an addiction. If you're addicted to alcohol or whatever it is, you're trying to stop smoking cigarettes, you cannot keep hanging with your boys that smoke cigarettes. You must find new faces and new places, a new playground. So you must surround yourself. Find mentors. Who is a mentor? A mentor is going to challenge you to be better. A mentor is not going to be in the comfort zone. You'll never find somebody to mentor you, or you should not look for somebody to mentor you that's in your comfort zone. No, you need someone that's going to hold you accountable. And when you surround yourself with people that can help unlock you, you can never, I look at it this way. A pair of elastic pants. You all know what elastic does. If you have some elastic sweatpants on, and once that elastic material gets stretched, it will never fit the same again. Those pants, you put them on your waist, those pants are going to fall down. Yeah, why? Because it's been stretched. And once it's been stretched, it can never go back to where it was. Your mind is the same way. When your mind is stretched, when you are around new people, you surround yourself with a whole new set of people. You can't go back the way you were. Your mindset is different. You can look back at how you used to be and go, ooh, no, I can't go back there. I've had too much success here. I've changed. I've grown. I'm hanging around my other family members. They're doing positive things. I promise you, if you are part of a family and your family members who have made great accomplishments, and they see you've changed your mindset and you've changed your behavior and you're going in a positive direction, I promise you, they will encourage you. They may say things like, I'm proud of you. I knew you could do it. You doing the thing. You going back to school. You taking up a trade. You went back and got your GED. You dropped out of school. Yeah. You got pregnant, or you dropped out of school, then you went to jail, 6 months in jail, a year in jail. While in jail, you took up a trade. You got your degree. You came out step by step. You're not making excuses anymore. They will encourage you. They're proud of you. When you've been 6 months clean, you're no longer, getting high. You're going to meetings. You got an AA sponsor. Now you celebrate 9 months of no drinking, and you got a job now. Yeah, you're going to meetings. You're going to church. You're reading more positive things now. You're hanging around very positive people. Oh, they will encourage you. Now, there'll be people who will not encourage you. They're not the ones you can hang around. You can't do that. So you surround yourself with people who will help you to unlock you. Surround yourself with that, ladies and gentlemen. That is, let me tell you, that is so powerful, because it's nothing like a support system. A support system. And this is what people who are struggling need. A support system. You don't need somebody to remind you what the loser you used to be. No, leave them alone, because they want to keep you in the prison. Now, there will be some people who will be jealous of you. Let's put that out there. There is no perfect world. There are some friends and other people will tell you, you think you something because you stopped drinking. You think you something because you going back to school. You got your little GED. Now you in community college talking about you want to be a nurse. Talk about you want to now be a dental assistant, or you want to be a mechanic. You always been cooking. You got your little degree, and now you want to get your own food truck. You want to start your own restaurant or your catering business. Ain't nobody going to buy from you. I remember when you used to be back. See, You stay away from those kinds of people. Pray for them. Stay away from them. You need to surround yourself with people, like-minded people that are taking you to a whole new level. Also, you need to forgive yourself and move forward. Oh my goodness. Forgive yourself. Many people stay trapped because they continue punishing themselves for something they did years ago. True freedom begins when you accept the lesson and release the burden. You accept the lesson and you release the burden. You did it years ago. That was 10 years ago. You're a different person now. Yes, forgive yourself and move forward. That is so key. Forgive yourself. It's important that you step in there. And also, there's a book called You Can Heal Your Life. Encourages readers I want you to listen to or go take a look at your past pain, forgive yourself, develop a healthier thought. That is important. And there's a book called As a Man Thinketh, like I said last week, a classic book that shapes your character. As a man thinketh, so is he. Also, the book called, The Mountain Is You, focuses on self-sabotage and how people can stop standing in their own way. That is so powerful, to make sure that you don't sabotage yourself, that you're going to hang around the positive people. You're going to step out there and forgive yourself. Move forward, because that is so key to this whole journey of you going down to free yourself out of the prison that you put yourself in through your words, through the people you hang around, the people you associate with, the chapters you read in the past, the mistakes you made. Forgive yourself and move forward. Do not stop. Do not wallow in what happened in the past, because you cannot change that. That's in your rear view mirror. As I tell my students when they start talking about their past, that is your rear view mirror. It's designed for you to glance, but your windshield is larger than your rear view mirror. And when you learn to forgive yourself and move forward, I don't care what you did. I don't care who you hurt, what happened. But when you have forgiven yourself and not make that mistake again. And remember, when you add this part of finding a new tribe, new people that you're going to associate. Remember I said that? I said when you find new people, when you're hanging around new people and you're changing the conversation in your head, now you can forgive yourself, and now you're able to move forward in goodness, in mercy, in grace, and just forgiving yourself for all the things that happened. That is so important. And that is something that you must grab and hold on to that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
As the years go by, the toll of time, the environment, and your daily choices add up. You see it in the mirror. You feel it throughout the day. Most turn to supplements to fill the voids left by modern life. But the truth is, supplements meet basic needs, but often fall short when it comes to restoring true cellular health. The answer to true wellness goes beyond supplementation. It lies within your cells, locked within your DNA. All you have to do is activate it. Born from 40 years of groundbreaking research, LifeVantage is the activation company. And as the authority in nutrigenomics, LifeVantage is leading the charge in cellular activation. Key ingredients in each formula are selected based on science that shows they can unlock your genes and the health coded within, optimizing cellular function just as nature intended. From the original discovery, which activates genes that reawaken your cellular defense system and reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, to the first of its kind collagen activator that increases collagen density by 100%, and the MindBody GLP-1 system Two powerful products that naturally activate GLP-1 to support habit change, mindful eating, and the foundation for lasting change. LifeVantage has pioneered a better approach to wellness that works with your biology, minimizing the impact of age and lifestyle choices, empowering you to live healthier, longer through the transformative power of activation. Turn back the clock. Reignite your body. Live life activated.
To learn more about your gut health and how to activate your body, go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauricemcDonald.net, and learn all about activating your body, your gut health, with 84 fruits and vegetables organically grown all over the world. Again, mauricemcdonald.net, MauricemcDonald, and unlock your potential today. We're back, guys, on the It's About You radio show, WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald, and we have been sharing today part 2 of the series of the idea of freeing your mind, or getting a prisoner, getting that mindset, escaping from the prison of your mind that's holding you back. You're not incarcerated, but guess what? Your mind has been incarcerated. You're walking free outside, but you're not free. And we've been talking about different points. I just finished sharing some amazing information about surrounding yourself with people who can unlock you. Forgive yourself and move forward. That's another one, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about small steps can break big change. Change in the conversation in your head. Your past, chapter is not the whole book. Your comfort zone can become, your jail cell, so to speak. And going back to that one about your head, what's in your head, I want to take this point here, this last point to talk about. Freedom starts in the mind. Freedom starts in the mind. End with the message that before someone can change their life, they must, not should, they must first believe they deserve more. Believe they can grow. Believe that the prison door is not locked. It is not locked, ladies and gentlemen. The doors can be open. The doors are open. All you got to do is push them. Push them. Or you got the combination. If the door is locked, if you think the door is locked, guess who's got the combination? You got the combination. You got the key. You can open the doors. And this is also where it comes into you with your spiritual life, ladies and gentlemen. Getting that freedom. It starts between the ears. That is important. You must first believe you deserve it. You deserve it, no doubt. There's another powerful book called The Gift of Imperfection. The Gift of Imperfection encourages people to let go of the shame, let go of the comparison, the need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. That part is not, listen. Also, the book that calls The Atomic Habits shows how small changes in habits and thinking can help people break free of patterns that hold them back. Atomic Habits. Powerful books. And I just wanted to share this information with you that the freedom to your mind, ladies and gentlemen, starts right there in the mind. It starts right there. And this point says freedom starts in the mind. Because everything I've shared is between the ears, ladies and gentlemen. The belief system, new path. You got to walk down a new path. There's a saying that says, inside of us, there's an eagle, and then there's a wolf. An eagle represents all the best of us. The wolf represents all the worst of us. And the question is, who wins the battle between the wolf and the eagle? Well, the simple answer to that is, who wins the battle is the one you feed. The one I feed. If I feed the wolf wins. If I feed the eagle wins. So it starts right there. It doesn't start with what other people think about me. Oh, what am I going to do? It's what I tell myself. It's what I can do to make this thing win. And guys, listen, this has been an awesome show. I hope you got a lot out of this series about the prison in your mind. Go out and make it a great day, guys. Go to mauricemcdonald.net. Go there and learn all about your amazing gut microbiome. If you missed the show, as I always say, go to my YouTube channel. It's About You radio show on YouTube, and listen to all the past shows and this show, and you can like and share. Let me know. Go to mauricemcdonald.net as well. Go there. Send me an email. Reach out to me. My phone number's on there. You can reach out to me. If you also learn about the amazing gut microbiome, if you would like some free samples, I will send them to you. You can reach out and call me, 877-634-9184, ladies and gentlemen, 634-9184. You can reach out to me then, but go to mauricemcdonald.net and learn all about your amazing microbiome, and we will see you next week because we're going to be in the building.